Welcome back to Major Wargasm Gaming. I am, of course, your host, Major Wargasm, bringing you PTFO Episode 5, an old series about PTFO, objective-based gameplay. What does the acronym stand for? Play the fucking objective, just like that guy and his horse was trying to do. Bringing it back when Battlefield 1 as objective-based play is important more now than ever. That's what it's all about. And we're starting this clip off with some insanity. We've got two hostile tanks, one directly in front of me, one sweeping around to the right. Now let me put this in a little bit of context. This episode is going to be one entire game, limited edit, because a Battlefield match can be 29 to 35-ish minutes with a go back and forth sometimes. So this is all from one game, and this is also a flawless game. This is an entire game in this tank. They are never actually able to stop me. I won't spoil how many kills I get. You'll have to stay to the end to see how many kills I get throughout the whole game. But let me just say this is a flawless game. So you're going to see some incredible tank gameplay here. Now we've started this clip off the right way on Delta, trying to take the objective, but I still have that second hostile tank that flanked around behind me. You probably saw it there on the minimap, as I'm limping away at 42 health. Now here's a tip: when you engage a tank, make sure you see it get destroyed, because if you hit it with a rocket or a grenade or a K-bullet or any shit like that, even if you see it at 16, you're gonna see me so low throughout this clip, and I managed to limp my ass away and repair my health. Now that tank has no idea where I went. He lost me in the confusion. He either stopped to kill infantry and chase kills, or he might be burning that flag, but he's actually not. I know where he is. You're going to see where he is in a minute. Now let me explain what I mean by limited edit here. You're not going to see everything. To cut it down into under a 15-minute clip for YouTube, I cut out some things. But that's the tank right there that followed me. He completely lost sight of me. I just dipped behind some rocks, repped, and then shot him and destroyed him because he'd lost track of enemy armor. And this is what I mean by limited edit. You don't need to see me drive over to B. I can just cut that out and then be over here at B. So here's another tip: if somebody shoots at you in a tank and misses, he knows you're there. Move. Don't do what that guy did and continue to lie there behind the rock thinking, oh, he shot at me but he missed, maybe he doesn't know I'm here. Yeah, the tank shoots at you, he knows you're there. Get your ass out of there. So we went back to Bravo. You're going to see a theme with this gameplay. It's going to be very defensive, very focused on A and B, very much dominating my side of the map, controlling my spawn. And that's very important for a couple different reasons. A lot of new people to Battlefield really don't know this, but your armor, your vehicles, your tanks, your planes, your transports, everything, your horses can actually, I'm not sure if everything can, but your vehicles, your main vehicles, your tanks, can actually move up and spawn at the flag in front of your spawn if you control it. And you should always control it. And let me explain it to you like this. Think of your real spawn, where the map has your flag, as the bedroom to your room, and you're inside your house. So the flag in front of your spawn is like the doorway to your house. Now you don't want bad guys opening the doorway to your house and just shitting in your fucking living room, do you? No, you need to control that and make it your house, and that's why your armor needs to be there at the first flag, and you need to control the flag in front of your spawn. It's big time important, and if you can't control the flag in front of your spawn, maybe you shouldn't be playing. But I just stepped off B, and the game said we're losing butter, because this team is being camped hard. This side of the map is not so great, because the guys can get up on those rocks right there to the right of me and just camp A and B, and that's what's going on here. And this team is really going to have a hard time locking down its spawn. I go back to A, and I almost get this plane. I missed the shot by a hair, but I almost get him. But this clip is all going to be about PTFO gameplay. So we went back to Alpha to capture it, because I need to control A and B. You can see I've already actually lost B through the mountain there, as this poor bastard underestimates the splash damage, and we get him. So I rep the tank back. I've got a couple of guys repping the guns now. The more people in the tank, the faster you cap those objectives. As you can see here, obviously I like the heavy tank. I think of it very much like the clown car or the LAV from Battlefield 4. The more people you can fit in it, the merrier. Capture those flags very fast. So as I roll out of Bravo, I find some enemy armor, and it's very important to engage enemy armor when you see it in a tank. It's almost one of your main responsibilities, because yes, the infantry can do it. The assault troops and the support troops with their limpet mines can engage the armor, but it's incredibly hard for them to do. We're fighting a very difficult uphill battle, and any competent tank driver can destroy them, as you're going to see in this gameplay here. As I already pointed out, this is going to be a flawless game where nobody's actually able to kill me. And I'm not even a tank pro, I'm just mediocrely good. But we destroy another one of their tanks. And as you can tell right here, we're 5 minutes in, we're a third of the way through this clip. It doesn't look good. We have A flag only, because I captured it, and now we're on B. And when I get to B, what do I see? The sentry kit just chewing my entire team up. So I have to blast them with the tank and help my team capture B, so we can finally have A and B. Now it's very important, like I said, to hold these flags. It's going to be a defensive game here. Look at the score. It's not looking good for Major Wargasm coming out of the gate here at 5 minutes in this video, as my team is behind by quite a bit and we're having a hard time with flags. And as soon as I roll out of B, what do I see? Some assholes here in a Rolls Royce trying to roll up on my shit, and oh look, there just happened to be the flame trooper inside, like an extra point pinata. Good for him. So we head out to Delta, and I'm going to reiterate what I said earlier. You're going to see some close escapes in the tank, some narrow escapes where I limp away at low health, and they don't realize the tank is still alive. But yeah, we roll back to B, just like this clip started. I'm sorry, D, Delta, or Duff, as it's called now. Just like this clip started, and we're capturing the objective. I really feel that the triangle of A, B, D, or if you're on the other side, the British side, being F, E, D. Going for C in the city is just a death trap. There's too much of going on. It's too much of a clusterfuck. There's too many corners, and people where places for people to camp. And as you can see right now, they're coming at us from the city big time. They're coming at us from Charlie every which way. And the game just announces that we're losing Duff, even though I'm on Duff and I just captured it. Somehow it's flashing. That's how hot in here it's getting. These kids are rushing me big time. Probably already over a third of them have tasted sweet death from my tank, and a few of them are out for blood. As you're going to see, more than a few assault troops coming at me big time here. My health right now is currently at 96, but everybody and their mom is going to be coming at me with everything and the kitchen sink here pretty soon. We're trying to capture D. We already actually have it, but I'm trying to defend it right now and just kill people. And DICE actually edited it from the beta. They changed the game. Originally, every guy you killed, every guy after that gave you an additional 10 points of just a kill streak bonus. They took that out because they realized incredibly huge rampages like this were able to go on, and people just kill like 20, 30, 40 people in the tanks. They're like, oh, we better not give them that crazy multiplier. So you can see we captured D flag, and if you look at the top, we actually have a lot of flags. And I realized that, wait a minute, if we're going to go for the win, we need to play aggressive and we need to reach here. We really need to push. So I roll from D to E. Yeah, I killed that sniper in the middle, but that's just because really he was just in my way of the flag. That's something I want to point out. You really got to be playing the objective. If you're not playing the objective, if you're just sitting in the edge of nowhere or just chasing kills, please do not chase kills in this game. That is not what it is about. You will never even be in the top 10 if you chase kills. You should just chase objectives. Go from objective to objective. Do the ping pong thing. Get a transport vehicle, because that's how your team really needs to win. The kills will come. The conflict will be on the flags. Don't let the enemy team control the flags and just sit off to the edge of the map. As you can see, we were losing B there earlier, so I rolled back to it to defend my A and B side, as we're still losing, and I encounter a huge assault team here that just doesn't expect a tank to come up behind them. They thought I'd left, or that I was destroyed. Instead, I'm at 30 health, and I roll back to Bravo here. We're losing Alpha, of course. I'm sorry, apples, as the game just says, apples and butter, all this new alphabet. But I head back to help capture these flags, because again, it's really important to play defensively and hold your spawn. I made the analogy earlier about it being your house, and the flag in front of your spawn really being the doorway to your house. You don't want somebody opening that doorway and just shitting all over the place. So after we take A and B, I move back to D, being Duff, and we snipe that guy like an idiot, just waiting for him to get in the tank. I'm sorry, the turret there. So we roll back, and we've got somebody shooting us with AT rockets. I don't know exactly where this asshole is. He's actually hiding under the train. I have a real hard time getting the line of sight on him, getting a shot. But we're really getting pounded with a lot of stuff here. This guy's nailing me with the rockets. This is going to be one of those narrow escapes I talked about before, where everybody's going to think this tank was destroyed because they saw it get down to crazy low health. Take a look at my health right now. I am at 28. Most people would bail on it right now. I've still got one gunner hanging out. I get hit with something. I'm at 22, waiting for my insta-rep to come back. A grenade brings me down to 8. I pop my insta-rep to go back up to 39. That insta-rep on the D-pad is so crucially important. So now we got to get the hell out of Dodge. Like I said, make sure you see the tank die. Don't ever just assume other people are going to do it. Luckily, there was a few infantry there of my side and a cavalry unit to help me. And I basically used the same trick as before. I just roll out to the desert, go 1 or 2 sand dunes away, break line of sight from the city so that they can't see me, and then dip, potato chip. We do a little repair cycle and rearm, and the tanks, that's why they're incredibly overpowered, and I feel most likely in the next 6 months to 9 months after the game has been out, they'll probably be nerfed again. They were already slightly nerfed from the beta. If you remember the beta, they were even beastlier than they are now, as that retard in this little motorcycle with a sidecar came back here because they continue to go for A and B. But something's happening. If you look at the score, we're starting to pull ahead. And another important thing, that ridge right there was just destroyed. I left that in for a reason. A lot of people on my team were pelting that thing with dynamite and rockets and limpet charges and every other thing to blow it up so that the enemy team could not continue to go and camp up there. The enemy team will always want to be on those rocks. They'll want to shoot your guys in the back. They want to parachute down onto apples and butter and control the flags on your side. Like I said, they want to pin your armor. A spawn trap in Battlefield is very hard to do, but when it does, it's embarrassing. But as you can tell, playing defensively has finally worked out. We're starting to pull ahead. If you look at the score, that was just the game giving the announcement that the enemy team is getting the behemoth because they're losing. Playing defensively and holding my spawn is working because it's really the easiest way to play. It's easier to defend flags than it is to recap them. So if you really just play defensively and try to control your side of the map and make them come to you, now granted, it's important to make sure that you hold more flags than the enemy. That's where dominating the middle comes in. And on this map, you could argue that the middle is D and C. Like I said earlier, I like to go for the 3-point triangle of A, B, D, or F, E, D if you're on the British side. So as we roll out from A, we see more guys, the same guys, trying to come back here in the Rolls Royce and sneak back here. Even though we've blown up that ridge so they can't camp up there anymore, they keep trying to come back, so we had to take out that little car, little point pinata for me. We roll back to Delta because now that my team's ahead, we got to hold the flags. You got to defend them. Like I said, it's easier to defend them than it is to take them. But we have a slight lead, and we have started to pull ahead at like 25 minutes into this game. If you look at the timer and the score up top, we need to hold these flags. We need to PTFO and buckle down hard. My team has been digging deep and sacrificing. You can see right there I got a friendly piece of armor with me, the land ship, and we captured Delta, but we realized, wait a minute, they've got the fucking train. We gotta get the hell out of here. Nice little sniping with the tank right there as I get that poor bastard on a sand dune way out there. And we gotta get the hell out of Dodge because they have the train coming in. But one thing to point out, as I'm getting ready to roll off the D flag, I'm going to see something coming down the right-hand side of the street. Wait a moment for it as it comes into frame. We try to kill a guy there, hiding in the defamation crater of an explosion before I see the train coming on the horizon. That right there, a light tank. Whenever you see a light tank, thank the person on your team for taking the completely useless, completely selfish tool to only help himself and not his team. The light tank has been hit with the hardest of all the nerfs from the beta. It is really ultimately garbage. Only scrubs really take the light tank. It's all about the land ship and the heavy tank for 2 reasons. The land ship brings the firepower. The heavy tank, which you see here, brings the transportation. Like I already said, it has very much the clown car effect as people can continue to spawn out of it and pop out of it. 6 seats means there's almost always room for somebody else. The land ship has the heavy firepower. So as I pull into this cavern to capture Butter one more time, I realize that the score is 970 my team, and they're not going to be able to come back no matter what they do. At this point, you can write it home to mom because it's done. Major wargasm all over my enemies' faces. They cannot come back from a loss like this. So we held A and B, we pulled ahead for the win, and they got the behemoth late, and it did not help them. And this is why you play for the win right here, the big point multiplier. So we edited down a 28-minute match to a 14-minute YouTube video. I hope you've enjoyed the content. And the final score here is, of course, yours truly, Major Wargasm, front and center, Flags defended. Like I said, this was a flawless game. And you want to know how many kills I got? 38-0. Major Wargasm all over my enemy.